Several new developments in South suburban Dalton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial reports.
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances while
Get ready for a story that will make you question everything. Dalton, Illinois Mayor Tiffany Henyard is once again in the spotlight, but this time it's not for her public service. Despite reportedly earning a six-figure salary of around $300,000 a year, Henyard is allegedly facing eviction after falling months behind on rent payments. How does someone in her position with such a substantial income end up in this situation? Paying rent should be the least of her concerns. Yet as this story unfolds, it's clear that there's far more to it than meets the eye, and it's quickly turning into an even bigger mess.
And unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. But like I said,
Let's dive into a story that raises more questions than answers. Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, is facing a situation that has left many people confused. According to recent reports, Henyard is 3 months behind on rent. But here's the twist. The rent in question isn't some extravagant mansion-level payment. It's reportedly around $2,100 a month, a sum that, while not insignificant, should be easily manageable for someone earning an annual salary of approximately $300,000. Many people would consider this a dream salary, so how could someone in her position fall behind on such a seemingly modest expense? This unexpected financial slip has left people scratching their heads, and the situation gets even more complicated. Henyard isn't the only name on the lease. Her associate, Kamal Woods, is also tied to the property, raising even more suspicions. So, what's really going on here? Is there something shady happening behind the scenes, or is there a larger story at play? The drama doesn't end there. On September 18th, an official eviction notice was filed against Henyard and Woods, giving them just 5 days to vacate the property and settle the back rent, approximately $3,350. Naturally, Henyard's lawyer quickly stepped in, claiming that the eviction was based on false pretenses. But what exactly does false pretenses mean in this case? Does it suggest that Henyard never signed the lease? Or is she claiming that she already paid the rent and this is all just a misunderstanding? The confusion only adds fuel to an already burning fire, and there's another layer to this situation: an ongoing investigation into Henyard's financial practices and spending habits. For some, this eviction is just the latest chapter in a long history of controversies surrounding her. This isn't the first time her name has been in the news for questionable reasons. Some critics believe this eviction is yet another example of her poor financial management. After all, Henyard has already faced accusations of using taxpayer money for personal luxuries, including lavish trips to Las Vegas, expensive vehicle rentals, and extravagant street parties. Tens of thousands of dollars have reportedly been spent on these indulgences. Just last month, she threw a massive street party in Dalton, fueling further criticism from those who believe she's reckless with public funds. Now, with this eviction notice, even more eyes are on her, wondering how this will all play out. Is this simply a misunderstanding, or could there be deeper financial issues at play? One thing is certain: Henyard's actions continue to attract attention, and her reputation as a mayor is under growing scrutiny. What's next in this unfolding drama? Will she be able to clear her name, or will this controversy be yet another stain on her political future? Only time will tell. This eviction situation seems to tie into a much larger issue: how Henyard handles money. It's sparking serious concerns because realistically, you don't just forget to pay rent for 3 months, especially when you manage finances for an entire village and make a six-figure salary. So, what's really going on behind the scenes? Is this a sign that Henyard is spiraling financially, or is there a more calculated reason for falling behind on something as basic as rent? Some speculate that this could be a deliberate move, a bigger scheme. Could Henyard be trying to portray herself as a victim, someone so financially strapped that she can't even afford her rent? It might sound like a stretch, but given her history, it's not entirely out of the question. Henyard has never been far from controversy, and this latest situation is no exception. Her legal history is messy, with public records showing dozens of lawsuits, either pending or recently resolved, many unrelated to her role as a public official. Some of these legal issues date back to 2012, involving personal debts and bank loans. This paints a troubling picture of someone who has been struggling with financial issues for years. The most recent of these legal troubles is, of course, the current eviction case, adding another layer to her already complicated financial and legal troubles. As this story unfolds, one particularly shocking rumor is making waves, whether Henyard even lives at the property she's being evicted from. Some insiders claim the house in question might be more than just a residence. There are whispers that the property could be involved in illegal activity, with some even calling it a trap house, not in the music sense, but in a much more concerning way. Adding to the suspicion, Henyard and Woods have reportedly refused to allow the property owner to conduct inspections, despite what's likely a lease clause allowing it. Why would they refuse an inspection? Is there something they're trying to hide? These unanswered questions only make the situation look even more questionable. While Henyard and Woods may have an explanation for their actions, the longer this situation drags on, the more people will wonder if there's something bigger going on behind closed doors. Given Henyard's long history of controversial behavior, it's easy to see why so many remain skeptical of her financial and legal dealings. Could this eviction be the beginning of a much larger scandal? Or is it just another chapter in the ongoing saga of a politician whose actions continually raise red flags? The longer Henyard remains in the spotlight, the more questions emerge. This could be just the tip of the iceberg in a much bigger story. With accusations of mismanaging taxpayer funds, lavish personal spending, and now an eviction notice, it's clear that Henyard is no stranger to controversy. As the public continues to scrutinize her actions, it remains to be seen how this latest situation will unfold. Will she be able to defend herself? Or will this be the scandal that finally unravels her political career? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The drama surrounding Tiffany Henyard is far from over.
And that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor
Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, is at the center of an escalating financial scandal that is quickly spiraling beyond unpaid rent into accusations of widespread financial misconduct. Her handling, or apparent mishandling, of both personal and public finances has ignited a firestorm of controversy, threatening to become one of the most scandalous chapters of her tenure. At the core of the issue is Henyard's apparent inability or unwillingness to meet basic financial obligations, including paying her rent. Reports indicate that she is months behind on payments for a property she allegedly resides in, with monthly rent set at a relatively modest $100. Given her reported six-figure salary, estimated to be around $300,000 per year, this financial lapse is both shocking and puzzling. How could a public official earning such a substantial income fail to pay something as fundamental as rent? But the story doesn't end there. Henyard isn't the only name on the lease. Kamal Woods, an associate closely tied to her, is also reportedly listed on the agreement, raising even more questions. Is this simply a mix-up? Or is there something more suspicious happening behind the scenes? Speculation has run rampant, with some wondering if this is a case of subletting gone wrong or if a deeper financial scheme is unfolding. The situation took a serious turn on September 18th, when an official eviction notice was filed, giving Henyard and Woods just 5 days to vacate the property. The total amount of unpaid rent is approximately $350. In response, Henyard's lawyer quickly stepped in, arguing that the eviction was based on false pretenses. But what does that mean in this context? Is Henyard claiming she never signed the lease, or is she suggesting that the rent was paid but lost due to some bureaucratic oversight? The lack of clear answers has only fueled public skepticism and disbelief. However, this controversy may be just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Henyard's financial troubles. Ongoing investigations into Dalton's finances, specifically her role in managing public funds, have uncovered troubling patterns of financial mismanagement. Allegations suggest that her inability to manage her personal finances may be a symptom of a much larger problem. Henyard has been accused of using taxpayer money for personal luxuries, including lavish trips to Las Vegas, luxury car rentals, and extravagant street parties. These expenses have reportedly amounted to tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, just last month, she threw a massive street party in Dalton, reinforcing concerns that she is being reckless with public funds. But the issue extends far beyond her personal spending habits. Henyard's alleged financial recklessness appears to be affecting her professional responsibilities as well. Reports have surfaced indicating that public grants, especially those designated for critical community projects, are being mismanaged under her leadership. A Freedom of Information Act request recently uncovered troubling discrepancies in the handling of one such grant project, which was overseen by none other than Henyard herself. As these revelations continue to unfold, the growing scandal surrounding Tiffany Henyard shows no signs of slowing down. Whether this is a case of simple mismanagement or something far more calculated remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: her financial dealings are now under intense scrutiny, and the fallout could have lasting consequences for her political career.